and the shape of the locusts were like unto, and Daryl has this underscored, horses prepared unto battle, and on their hands were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces, and Daryl has this underscored, men. And they had hair as the hair of, and Daryl has this underscored, woman, and their teeth were as the teeth of, and Daryl has this underscored, lions. And they had breastplates, as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings as the sound of chariots and many horses running to battle. And they had tails like unto, and Daryl has this underscored, scorpions, and there were sitting in their tails, and uh, their power was to hurt men 5 months. Revelations chapter 9, verse 7 through 10. And the Megias Assertus translation is, and the likeness of the locusts were like unto horses prepared for war, and on their heads were, as it were, crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men, and they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions, and they had breastplates as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was as of chariots of many horses rushing into battle. And they had tails like scorpions and stings, and in their tails was their power to hurt men 5 months. I am sure, and I have seen artist renderings of these. If you want to probably Google that one and show it, that would be nice to have a little box over here, or me in a little box in the picture across the stream. If I had somebody down here that could do that for me, or somewhere remote, because I can bring somebody in and let them put a little picture here. But I am sure you will agree that this is a frightful, weird, and unnatural description. A little closer examination, however, will reveal a striking similarity to the locust of Palestine, which I think we need to note. Dr. Vincent makes this comment in his book of Revelations. The likeness of a locust to a horse, especially to a horse equipped with armor, is so striking that the insect is named in German uh, Hupford, hay horse, and in Italy, Cavaletta, the little horse. Daryl has this underscored. The faces of the locusts resembled the faces of men, and the antennae of the locusts are compared to the girl's hair. Joel compared the, and Daryl has this underscored, teeth of the locust with those of a lion. And see Joel chapter 1 and verse 6. Many have commented on the weird sound that the locust makes. It in his word study in the New Testament, Dr. Vincent quoted Oliver, a French writer. It is difficult to express the effect produced on us by the sight of the whole atmosphere filled on all sides and at the great height by an innumerable quantity of these insects, whose flight has was slow and uniform, and whose noise resembles that of rain. There are those today who have uh, to attempted to liken the description to the locust to an airplane. I remember as a young fellow hearing a preacher who said that since the sting of the locust is in the tail It compares to the rear gunner on a bomber. Well, that all sounds very good, but we have now passed from the uh, propeller plane to the jet plane and into the missile age. Somehow, you would want to compare these locusts to the missile. Seriously, I do not want to compare it to anything that is known today because, and Daryl has this underscored, this is not the weapon that is used today, but the weapon that is going to be used in the Great Tribulation Period. Whatever that is going to be. Yeah, I've heard people describe it as a helicopter, and and the bad thing is now apparently the guy who I heard a podcast interview of the guy who killed Osama bin Laden. We have battery airplanes or helicopters that have six propellers somehow or another, and they gyrate. And so, you don't know what they're going to come up with. So making speculations, even if I speculated that that is like a locust, they have four wings, that gyrate to make them fly. And now we have helicopters. Who knows what we have? And so that would be coming out in the future. And so speculations make you look like an idiot. Our weapons today, are so frightful that even Russia and the United States, although they are not they are at opposite poles, are willing to sit down and talk as long as one thinks the other is as strong or stronger than he is. And so these powers was to hurt men 5 months. Daryl has this underscored. It will be 5 months of unspeakable agony for those who have been attacked by these unnatural locusts. Verse 11. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit. So here's the king. I was wondering where it was, whose name in the Hebrew language is Abaddon. But in the Greek tongue, its name is Polion. Revelations chapter 9 and verse 11. The Megius Absurdus translation is, they have over them as king, the angel of the abyss. This name in Hebrew is Abaddon, and in the Greek tongue, he had the name Polion. Daryl has this underscored. These Greek locusts are further differentiated from ordinary locusts in that they have a king over them. Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 27 says of natural locusts that they have no king. The king is, or leader, and Daryl has this underscored, of these locusts is probably one of the fallen angels, the chief henchman of Satan, and he is permitted to lead an invasion of Earth for the first time. This is something that is going to be rather frightening, and Daryl has this underscored. His name is Hebrew means destruction, and in Greek it means the destroyer. This confirms that what Daniel told us, that the demon world of the fallen angels is divided into uh, gradations. Degradations is what I wanted to say. I think there are generals, majors, lieutenants, uh, uh, sergeants, and privates. In Ephesians, we find that the angels of God are divided in the same way. So now, verse 12, and Daryl has this underscored, one woe is past. And behold, there come two woes more hereafter. Revelation chapter 9 and verse 12. One woe is past because there come yet two woes after these things. I was wondering how he knew each trumpet was named woes because it specifies more in depthly here. Darrell has this underscored. The first woe introduced us to the last half of the Great Tribulation Period, and it had a duration of 5 months. Apparently, and he continued underscoring here, the last two woes will cover the remaining of that period. And he continues underscoring here, the warning here indicates that worse things are to follow. The next trumpet reveals that this was not just an idle warning. So that concludes